Hey YouTube, when I was going to cover this event, it was just truly because Summer Cup sucks, Master League sucks. I'm just going to cover this event. Who cares if it's just a Reggie? And then I started running the sims of what these new moves do to some of these Pokemon. And in the Ultra League, as you can see by title, one of them went from a 6-42 record to a 30-18 record, picking up 24 wins in the Ultra League against the Ultra League meta. So we are actually getting a Pokemon that could change the Ultra League meta up. So we have to cover this a little more intently than I was first going to do it. So June 23rd to June 27th, the Ancients Recovered event. It's all the Regis. So Pokemon appearing in 5-star raids each day will also be featured in a raid hour from 6 to 7 each day. So on the 23rd, you have Regidrago, Regis, and Registeel. On the 24th, you have Regilecki, 25th, Regidrago, and 26th, Regigigas, and then all of them on the 27th. So the charge moves, this is where it gets important. When you catch the following Pokemon during the event, they will know the following charge attacks. Regirock with Earthquake, already knows it. Regis with Thunder, already knows it. Registeel with Sap Cannon, already knows it. Regilecki with Thunder Cage, does not know it. And here's the big one. Regidrago with fast move of Dragon Breath and the charge move of Dragon Energy, it does not know it. And Regigigas with Crush Grip, still absolute garbage, so you don't need to worry about that. There's also complete research tasks to earn encounters with the following Pokemon. So if you can't make it out to raid, you do that there. And then the rest of the stuff, yada, yada, yada. We don't, is there other event bonuses? Remote raid limit increases from 30, increased to 30 from this week. So, and no remote raid. Yeah, no remote raid during Global Go Fest. That makes sense. They did increase it to 30 this week, which is actually quite high. Trainers level 31 up are guaranteed to receive Candy XL from trading Pokemon from June 23rd to 29th. So interesting event bonus here too that I kind of did not think about looking at. Guaranteed Candy XL from trades, which is what one of the best bonuses for trading is, but we don't have that currently. So if you have Pokemon you want to trade and get XL candies for, do them during this time. So an interesting, what I thought was just, I dismissed this because they announced this May 23rd. They announced this a month ago, and it's the Regis, right? Regis have been around so many times. And so when I looked at just like first I just looked at like, okay, what are these moves? And in and of themselves, it's like, okay, you got two pretty good moves, right? 45 and 50 energy for 100 and 110 damage. That 2.2 damage per energy without even stab. So I'm like, okay, those in themselves were good. And then Thunder Cage I didn't think too much of with a 1.5, but it's not just 1.5. It has a 100% chance of lowering your opponent's defense, which is actually quite big for a 40 energy move. So I started just like, okay, let's just look at the Great League and Ultra League rankings without looking at these new moves. And right here, as you can see, the Regis have taken a beating. Registeel was the number one ranked Pokemon for a while. And then that Zap Cannon got nerfed multiple times. It went from 100% chance of lowering your opponent's attack to, what is it now, like a 12%? Something very small now. 33. Okay, so not terrible, but 33%. So going from the guaranteed lower attack to 33% is much, much worse. And then the meta has evolved. There's a lot more ground in the meta, like a significantly more ground in the meta, which makes it much, much tougher to run. Still viable in some situations. And then the other Regis in the Great League, not as relevant. In the Ultra League, they have some play. Registeel is just still such an XL tank in the Ultra League that it is still a top ranked Pokemon. And Regirock is one that just has a great coverage, right? Super fast charging lock on. Stone Edge is such a good move, and it only takes 11 turns to get to, right? So doing a 120 damage move, 2.18 damage Stone Edge is good, and it has like decent, not obviously doesn't have this insane bulk that Reggie has, but still very, very high defense and decent stamina there. So not surprising that Regirock is also pretty high. But the rest of them were just like inconsequential, just like you don't even need these Pokemon. I don't even know if I've ever gotten these Pokemon. So then I started running some sims, and the first one was Regilecki in the Great League. So I'm like, okay, let's check out this Thunder Cage move. And right off the bat, you can just see all that blue picking up 13 wins. Now, unfortunately for this Pokemon, that just moves it from a 1-41 to a 14-28. So as an electric Pokemon, I don't think there's a reason to use it when there's so many other electric Pokemon, and 1428 is nothing to care about. I also put it in the Ultra League, and it's the same thing, 4 and 44 to 15 and 32. And then not even thinking about what 2 new moves would do for this Pokemon, I put it in the Great League, and you pick up 22 matchups in the Great League from a 2 and 45 record to a 24 and 23 record. So you're now suddenly positive. 477 average is not amazing. The problem with Dragon users in the Great League is that Dragon Breath doesn't. Dragon is good because there's a lot of things that it resists: water, grass, electric, fire. So the typing itself makes Dragon always kind of like an interesting one. But Dragon Breath doesn't really hit super effective against anything. So a lot of times you're just in neutral matchups. And because Dragon Breath is more of a fast damage move, you're not getting to the charge moves super fast. So a lot of times you're throwing breaking swipes here at 12. But this Dragon Energy only takes 15 to get to. And as we showed here, Dragon Energy is a 45 for 100 move. So getting to it at a decent pace, doing a lot of damage with Stab here too, picking up a ton. But we know that dragons play better in the Ultra League just because there are a lot of other dragons in the Ultra League where you hit super effective against, and you have more bulk in the Ultra League, so you can take charge moves which you may not be able to take in the Great League. And in the Great League, there's a lot more like Fairy and Steel, but there's not as much Fairy and Steel in the Great League. And sorry, in the Ultra League. So there's a lot more Pokemon that you actually just hit neutral against in the Ultra League. And when you're able to hit neutral with Dragon Breath and now have a great move, hello, from 6 and 42 to 30 and 18 for a 529 average. That is a meta Pokemon. Regidrago just became a meta Ultra League Pokemon. So beating Ampharos, Annihilate, Belly Bolt, right? You resist Electric, Blastoise. Obviously, you're going to lose to... what is your typing? Just straight Dragon? Okay, just straight Dragon and just straight Dragon moves. So you're going to lose 2 things that are either resist Dragon, because you only have Dragon moves, or hit super effective against Dragon. So, yeah, like Ice and stuff like that are probably the ones you're going to lose to, and Steels you're going to have problems with too. So... obviously getting killed by Clefable, Cobalion as a Steel, Corviknight as Steel, Credilli may be able to just lower your attack a bunch. So Crest has Moonblast. So these are your losses. But then look, Dragonite, Drapion, Dusknoir, Feraligatr. Not the Shadow though. Interesting. I guess that's definitely depending on landing an Ice Beam though. Gliscor, Golisopod, Greninja. Close, very, very close loss to Grumpigs, like Guzzler. So that's probably just going to be like a couple Dragon Breaths dependent. Jellicent, close on Lapras. Malamar, Mandibuzz, Poliwrath, Primeape, Samurai that got buffed, Scizor that got buffed, Skelders that's meta, Talonflame that's meta. So, holy smokes, this thing is going to be very, very, very strong in the Ultra League. So, Regidrago, one that I actually need to focus on now. Have no idea how many I have. Again, the 5-star rates on the Wednesday, which is the normal one anyways. Like, again, I don't think I can go out for those anyways, but definitely something to keep your eye on. Let me just check the Ultra League rankings. Right now it's 650. Obviously, it's going to be a more top Pokemon there. And it's only level 33, right? You do not need XLs for these. You do not need... This is not a Reggie. Look at that defense. Look at that stamina. Holy, like, terrible defense, insane stamina. That's a very, very weird stat product. But yeah, only level 33. But that Dragon Breath, 3 weaknesses, Fairy, Ice, and Dragon, resisting electric, fire, grass, and water. And that Dragon Breath, and then that new move of Dragon Energy. Like, it gets 2 new moves, right? Because right now it does not have Dragon Breath. It has Bite, and it does not have Dragon Energy. So putting on a Dragon Breath fast move and Dragon Energy charge move, and still having the Hyper Beam, which is going to take a while to get to, but it won't take 40. But it will take a while to get to. But maybe you want double Dragon. What does that say? What did I run it in the Ultra League? Double Dragon. Yeah, I do go Break and Swipe, and yeah, it makes sense. It just it's just too high to get to a Hyper Beam. So just going for the Break and Swipe that you can bait at 12, and then this sort of nuke at 15. Because like I said, you kind of want, if you just try and go double nuke here and try and put on Hyper Beam, I think it's going to take too long to get to these moves. 15 and 20, yeah, Hyper Beam's 27. You're not running a move that takes 27 to get to. No way. I'm not even going to run that sim because that's just dumb. So don't do that. But 12 and 15, it makes sense. 30 and 18, 529 average. We have a new meta Ultra League Pokemon because of an event that I was going to dismiss that was announced a month ago with all the Regis that we've seen multiple times. This is how it happens, right? You never know what's going to be meta. You never know what moves these Pokemon are going to get and how good they can be, and how shift on a dime, how a Pokemon with a 6 and 42 record is now going to become a top player in the Ultra League. Absolutely nuts. But yeah, so happy hunting. Again, I still think Registeel in the Ultra League, if I'm going to focus on any of them, I think Registeel, Regirock is still decent. Again, you don't need Earthquake. In fact, I would actually argue you should not run Earthquake in the Ultra League, but Regirock has play in the Ultra League. Regice has some play in Ultra League too. Registeel for sure has play in Ultra League. You see it once in a while in Great League, but I think there's just other better steals to use in Great League at this point. And now Regidrago, a sort of must used in the Ultra League. So interesting as we roll into GoFest here. So we will cover obviously GoFest in depth closer to probably on the Friday, and then do a bunch of Great Leagues and then one more Summer Cup team this afternoon. So that is it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.